The gun was already in Zara's hand. Before she knew, she'd picked it up. 3 seconds ago, she'd been carrying bourbon to table 4. Now, a man with a silencer pressed to the back of Damien Voss's skull was counting down in a language she didn't speak. And somehow, her body had decided before her mind did. She pistol-whipped him across the ear. He dropped. Damien turned slowly, looked at the unconscious man on the floor, looked at Zara. His expression didn't change, which was somehow more frightening than if it had. "Sit down," he said quietly, "before they see you standing." She sat. Her hands were shaking. His weren't. He slid the untouched bourbon toward her. "Drink it. You look like you're about to be sick. Someone just tried to kill you." "Yes." He straightened his cufflink. "They usually do it after dessert. You've disrupted the schedule." She stared at him. "Are you serious right now?" "Completely." His eyes moved slowly across the restaurant, cataloging, counting. The man at the bar. The two near the kitchen pass. "Don't look." His voice dropped to almost nothing. "My fiancé is watching us." Zara didn't look, but she felt it. The weight of Sylvie Marchand's gaze from across the room, warm and patient and absolutely lethal. "She ordered this," Zara said. "Yes." "You knew?" For the first time, something moved behind his eyes. "I do now." He picked up his glass. "Smile. We're having a lovely evening." Zara smiled. It felt like swallowing glass. Then the lights went out. The restaurant exploded into noise, chairs scraping, glasses shattering, someone screaming near the entrance. In the dark, Zara felt a hand close around her wrist. Firm, not cruel. And she was moving, before she could protest, pulled through a door she hadn't noticed into a corridor that smelled of dish soap and fear. "Don't stop," Damien said. "Don't make a sound." She didn't. They went through the kitchen fast, too fast. A man came out of nowhere with a blade, and Zara threw the nearest thing she could reach, which turned out to be a cast-iron pan, directly into his face. The crack was horrible. She kept moving. Damien glanced back at her once. Something shifted in his expression. Surprise, maybe, or the beginning of respect. They hit the fire exit, and the New Orleans night swallowed them whole. Heat. Noise. Somewhere 3 blocks away, a brass band was playing like the world wasn't ending. Damien's car was already running at the curb. A black SUV, engine idling, no driver. He got behind the wheel. "Get in or don't," he said. "But decide now." Zara got in. They were 2 blocks away before she spoke. "My name is Zara. I know who you are." He didn't look at her. "Your mother is at St. Catherine's, room 14. Private care. You've been paying her bills by working doubles every weekend for 8 months." She went cold. "How do you—" "Because Sylvie flagged you 6 weeks ago." A pause. "She thought you'd seen something you shouldn't have." He finally glanced at her. She was right. Zara's hand found the door handle. They were doing 60. "Don't," Damien said. Not a threat, a fact. She let go, but her whole body was coiled. "You've been watching me." "Sylvie has been watching you. There's a difference." He turned onto the expressway, smooth and unhurried, like they were coming home from dinner. "She put a tracker in your mother's medication packaging. She's known where you are every minute for 6 weeks. Why are you telling me this?" "Because you saved my life with a cast-iron pan." The corner of his mouth moved. "I find that difficult to ignore." Zara looked out the window. The city blurred past, lights and water and the dark belly of the Mississippi Bridge. Her mother was in that city, in a room, with a tracker sitting 3 feet from her bed. "I need to go back," Zara said. I've already sent someone. I don't know your people. No, but you know me. He said it like it was simple, like trust was a thing you could just decide. The tracker will be gone in 20 minutes. Your mother won't know anything happened. And me? She turned to look at him. What happens to me? He was quiet for long enough that the silence became its own answer. The mansion appeared out of the dark, like it had always been waiting. Garden district, iron gates, Spanish moss hanging so thick it blocked the streetlights. Damien pulled in without a word. A gate closed behind them. Zara didn't move when he stopped the car. You're not a prisoner, he said. The gate just locked. Yes, she laughed. Short, sharp, no humor in it. That's a very fine distinction. He got out, came around to her door and opened it. Not to help her, just to make it clear the choice was hers. She got out, stood in the driveway looking up at the house. My mother's care, she said. Who pays for it now? I do. And what does that cost me? He looked at her steadily. 3 days. There's an engagement party at the Belmont plantation. Raphael and Sylvie. They're celebrating what they think is a victory. A pause. I need someone inside who doesn't look like a threat. You want to use me. I want to give you a reason to say yes. His voice was even, unhurried. There's a difference. She hated that he kept making that distinction. She hated more that it kept being true. 3 days, she said. 3 days. Zara looked at the locked gate behind her, then at the house, then at him. This man who'd watched her save his life and hadn't even flinched, who spoke about trackers and hit teams the way other people talked about weather. Show me where I'm sleeping, she said, and don't ever go through my things. He almost smiled. Agreed. The dress was midnight blue, heavy silk, structured shoulders, a hidden pocket at the left hip that fit a compact pistol perfectly. Damien had thought of everything. 2 days in that mansion had changed Zara in ways she couldn't name yet. He'd taught her to shoot in the basement, stance, breath, trigger, standing close enough that she could feel the focus radiating off him like heat. He never touched her unnecessarily, which somehow made every necessary touch unbearable to forget. She hadn't asked what he felt. He hadn't offered it. They were two people building something in the dark, and neither was brave enough to name it yet. Now she was walking into a plantation ballroom, full of people who wanted Damien dead, wearing a dress he'd chosen, carrying a gun he'd loaded. She'd never felt more like herself. The ballroom blazed, chandeliers, champagne, 400 people who believed Raphael Voss had won. Sylvie floated through the crowd in white, radiant and untouchable. Raphael stood at the bar, laughing, loud and loose, the laugh of a man who thought the hard part was over. Zara took a glass of champagne she didn't drink and found her position. Her earpiece crackled. Damien's voice, low, steady. You ready? Ask me that again, and I'll shoot you myself. A beat. Then, there she is. Before she could answer, the ballroom speakers shrieked, feedback, then silence, then Damien's recorded voice filled the room like smoke. Clean audio. Timestamps. Raphael's own words confirming the hit. Sylvie's voice giving the order. 30 seconds of evidence playing to 400 witnesses, including 6 city officials and 2 federal judges. The room didn't erupt. It froze first, that single suspended second where everyone understood simultaneously, and then it erupted. Raphael moved towards Zara so fast she almost missed it. She didn't miss the shot. He went down, clutching his shoulder, alive, which was the point. Dead men don't face consequences. Zara wanted him to face consequences. Sylvie ran. She made it to the east corridor before Damien stepped out of the shadows and blocked her path. They looked at each other, former fiancé, and the man she'd tried to bury, and whatever passed between them was private and brutal and over in seconds. Security took Sylvie to the ground. Zara walked out through the front doors, onto the plantation steps, sat down in the warm Louisiana dark. Her hands were steady. She noticed that, filed it away. She heard him before she saw him, his footsteps, unhurried as always. He sat beside her, said nothing. Her phone buzzed. St. Catherine's. She answered. Miss Mills? The nurse's voice, soft and careful. Your mother's awake. She's asking for you. Zara closed her eyes. Just for a second. When she opened them, Damien was watching her. Not with possession, not with strategy. Just watching. Like she was something he hadn't expected and didn't want to lose. Go, he said quietly. She stood, smoothed the silk, looked at him one last time. This man she'd chosen in the dark, who had chosen her back without ever saying so. Don't disappear, she said. He held her gaze. I'll be here. She walked toward the waiting car. She didn't look back. She didn't need to. Some choices don't need to be spoken to be permanent. If this story moved you, share it. If you want to see what happens next, say so. The dark has more stories in it. We're just getting started.